Maisha ni ya ghetto, msaliti ni wepetro, sharia muna kwao, wazimu gana hao, furasi sio mfano, ukabila lio kwao, hardcore shafika, ukweli na hakika, kadiri na shika, fura kwa lahiki, kwenda kwa mashabiki, raji kuruziki, beef na fiki, hit na dhiki, muda muna wiki, mimi na himziki, split ni mukiki, kutafuta ziki, kwa makini mfulisi, ya mchima la...
What? Donald Trump! Fuck you, what? Fuck down, bitch! Goofy! Go! On pro grade! Ozzy on pro! No well, on pro grade! No well! Ozzy! Bitch!
Hey, you can open that other bag of chips if you want.
Yeah, I missed my bad. Y'all don't even know, man. My folks finna be on some real, cause real out here, man. And I ain't know until right now. I need some the hell for the L, man. I need some weed. Alright, go buy some right now, cause I don't feel like going outside, bro. I don't need it.
Folks cut my whole fingernail, folks.
Bro, that's the last cut. No, that's the whole fingernail.
That's my fingernail, so that shit hurt. Oh, it should have been the way. I ain't gonna lie, why is it tight? So why is it not tied then? You can't tie that tight, Joe. Tie that tight.
Hey, shout out to PBG. Shout out to PBG.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what'll that make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you. Come on. Make way for the bad guy. There's a bad guy coming through. Better get out of his way.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the host, the gatekeeper of this particular program, known here on what some may still call the World Wide Web. I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother number 1 and your friend Taalik Ibn'rad. I would first like to caution my viewers, because I know many of you are not used to me using profane, foul language, but because of the subject matter and what I might say as we converse within the next few moments, I might lose it. Okay, I'm just going to be quite honest with you. I might lose it. So just in case, and I hope that I can maintain composure, but I want to forewarn you that we should use probably parental discretion is advised. With that said, I want to make a defense for these persons who have been accused of abuse, or in fact terrorism. In fact, it is called a hate crime for young teenagers who did something very horrible against a defenseless Caucasian person. Now, what is mind-boggling to me is that we have made a race issue out of it, yet and still people always say, when we make racial allegations, when black folks, when the descendants of slaves, these people of soul, when we make allegations of racism and hate crimes, our allegations, or what we try to say, it's laughed at, and it's like water on a duck's back. Nobody wants to hear that. It's always about race. It's just a crime. It has nothing to do with race. Y'all complain too much. It's just the way people are, and blase blase. There is a denial of racial bias against dark-skinned people in this nation, which has never been dealt with. It's in denial. It's kept on the low. It's ignored. We want to address and talk about a little of this as we move forward again in this conversation. If you're watching the long version of this talk, then I started out with 2 video clips. The first clip, of course, is it's a copy of what these 4 teenagers done to this Caucasian disabled man, I believe. I believe he's a man or a boy. I'm not really sure, but he's something is wrong with him. He's handicapped, disabled to some point. And then the second video clip I have comes from the film Scarface, and it is of that famous scene where Tony Montana was telling the patrons in the restaurant where he was at, say good night to the bad guy. Say good night to the bad guy. I like that movie, Scarface. Now let me backtrack, because I know some of you say, or did I say something that I wanted to defend these thugs? Did you say that, brother? You want to try to defend the thug? You want to defend these heathens, these savage Hoodrats, and these thugs that did this to this poor, defenseless guy? Yes. Yes. Just like many other people, they defend their thugs and their murderers and their liars. I'm going to stand with these children. And this is something that we forget. These are children. These are babies. I don't believe none of these children are even 19 years old. They were less than 19 years old. These are children. These are babies. This is something that you must think about. Although this action that they've done, yes, it's despicable and it's horrible. Why are the children doing this? I'm going to stand with my young brothers and sisters, guilty or not guilty. In the United States of America, with or without a videotape, you're supposed to be innocent till proven guilty. You're supposed to be treated innocent till proven guilty. I see you have no problem with the many police officers around the country who kill dark-skinned people, not just terrorize them, not just bound and kidnapped and tied them up a little bit. You have police officers that actually kill and murder. We want to talk about that. And they are put on administrative leave. You took these young teenagers, these children, soon as you found them, you put them in jail. And eventually they will go to juvenile jail or even prison itself, but they will be punished. I will stand with the young brothers and sisters because they are part of my family. They are part of the descendants of slaves born in America, having dark skin. They are living in a oppressive, racist society. They are the children of victims, and we have been victimized going on 500 years. Why can't I stand with our children, with our babies? I will stand with you, whether you are right or wrong, than a nasty, lying, vicious, unjust enemy. These racist Caucasian people, they stand with their liars. George Bush, the president of the United States, the weapons of mass destruction, he's an outright liar. The government is a liar. Ronald Reagan was buying drugs. He's a dope slinger. And the Caucasian people stand with their liars and their murderers, dropping bombs and assassinating people all over the planet. You live in a nation that made slavery a way of life, and you stand with them. You stand with George Washington, a slave owner, a rapist, a murderer. But I can't stand with these poor young children. You get out of my face. And what really made me want to make this video, I see all these videos where these Negroes, these niggas, this nigger trash, they want to get on the video. It's so terrible, and call our young brothers and sisters hoodrats and thugs and savages. You the savage, you dark European trash. I wish you would go head to head with me. I'll show you who the real thug and the real savage, who the real fool is. They want to get on YouTube and social media and tell their massa, oh massa, that was so terrible what they did to your disabled child, massa. I ain't like them, massa. I's a good nigga, massa. Massa, I's good. I ain't like that, massa. The reason why they like that, massa, is because they come from a single black woman, single mother. Them mamas should be married, massa. You teach us to get married, massa. You taught us that way back when we were slaves, massa. You so good, massa. Massa good, massa. I love you, massa. This is the reason why I wanted to make a video. Because I can understand the attitudes of racists. But then you have their slaves that go right behind them like these crackers need some kind of help. They want to show, I ain't like that, massa. They bad, massa. They thugs, they savages, massa. Not too long ago, he called all dark-skinned people savages. Animals. All of us. And behind closed doors, you still a boy. You still a girl. You still a savage. And sometimes they get caught. And you act like you shocked. It's not shocking. That's the way it has been going on 500 years. So yeah, I stand with these children, these babies. We're going to talk about this. One thing for sure, unlike the racist police officer, these poor babies, they will be punished. You don't have to worry about that. When I was unjustly charged with a crime, I was punished. Now, there are many of you that like to make mockery because I was locked up. Because you don't like what I say. But it makes no difference, because since you're so goody two-shoe, you should want justice for everybody. Regardless, in the United States of America, I have freedom of speech. So it don't make no difference whether you like me or not. In this nation, since you're so patriotic, I have the right, so you claim, of freedom of speech. I also have the right to be treated in a just manner if I'm a citizen of this nation. And if you go back and look at my record and see what they charged me with and see what the proof that they claim that they had, and you tell me, was I treated just? And if you have any kind of a sense, you would say, your case was all messed up. My case was normal. They lock dark-skinned people up for little or nothing all the time. It's normal. And you have the nerve to jump on the side of these racists rather than your children. We don't see ourselves as family. They stand with theirs. Even that Dylan Roof, what was it? The police officers gave him some Burger King after he murdered black folks. And here you are, happy to run around here. Oh, Massa, that's so terrible, Massa. I could care less what they think about me or what I think. What I have to say. I could care less about the way they view me. I'm not interested in them. I'm interested in family. They are not part of my family. They could care less. They don't give a damn about me. You ain't learned yet, fool. But we are just so in love with these beasts, these animals. They are the real animals. Kissing dogs in their mouth. Dogs in your house licking off your plate. Eating ice cream cones after dogs. You have the nerve to call somebody a savage. Get out of here. But again, I was punished, and I'm very sure that these children, they will be punished. So what you upset about? They're going to be punished. But you have Caucasian police officers and some Negro police officers. But mainly, you have these Caucasian police officers. That's why we have a Black Lives Matter. Because of these Caucasian. You have a Black Lives Matter. The reason why you have a Black Lives Matter is because of police brutality against dark-skinned people. You tell me, so these children and myself, there's no doubt we we're going to get punished and have been punished. There's no doubt about that. So I don't know why y'all, what you dark Europeans is crying about. You don't have to worry about, oh, don't worry, they're going to pay for what they did to the autistic man or boy, whatever the hell he is. I don't even know what the hell he is. But where's the justice? And now you just want to just ignore. Where's the justice for the black man in New York City who was raped by police with a baton? Where's the justice for the old black man whose medical alert bracelet went off by mistake and they shot him I don't know how many times? What about the hung jury? It was on videotape. We see these things. A lot of this stuff is on videotape. Black man running away, clearly running away, shot 8 times in the back. It's a hung jury. Oh, it's a surprise. The majority of the jury, almost all pink people. Oh, we don't understand it. The man was shot in the back 8 times running away. What is there to understand? They don't understand. They understand this though. When they saw the video, oh, those savages, the Negro children, look at them. They can understand that, but they can't understand it's a hung jury as a black man is running away and gets shot in the back 8 times. You could be Eric Garner in New York selling some cigarettes and they mad because they can't make the taxes off of it and choke the man to death in broad daylight. Now, I'm going to be punished. I was punished for what I was accused of. Overly punished. And these children will be punished. Where is the punishment? Where's the justice for these? Where is the outcry from y'all massa pink beast-loving Negroes? Oh man, you are so sickening, these cracker-loving things. They make me sick. They try to play both sides too. You ought to hear them. They try to act pro-black, and they didn't. But at the same time, they got their nasty, broad, stacking nose all up in that butt crack of these crackers. Oh, brother, you sounding racist. Has nothing to do with being racist. It's called anger. I'm what the sister said. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Y'all so fake. You so upset over one thing, but when it comes to dark-skinned people, it's a whole new attitude. Not only I expect that from pink people, but these Negroes the same thing. I ain't like that, massa. I listen to Tommy Sotomayor. I don't listen to this guy. My question in defense of these children. First of all, they are children. This is where my defense begins. It begins because these are children. 17, 18, whatever, but they are still children. They just came out the diaper not too long ago. I raised the question, when they was born, when they were 6 years old, 7 years old, did they ever, what happened to them? Did when they were 6 or 7, when they was babies, did they ever say, you know, when I become a teenager, when I become grown, I think I want to catch me a crippled white boy and terrorize him. I want to be accused of a hate crime. Something happened. Something happened between when that child was an infant till the time they are 18 years old. Something happened. Even racism itself. Racism is a learned behavior. Being a racist is a learned behavior. It's not natural. This is not natural behavior. Something caused this. But when you look in the society that these teenagers are living What do they see? They see the police officer, or heard about the police officer raped a black man with a baton, a black man being shot in the back 8 times, and in Chicago, little children, what's his name? Young McDonald, the little boy shot, I don't know how. They seeing this, and they are black themselves. They see that they could become a victim at any time. They know that and understand they live in a racist society. They live in a society that hates their guts. So what make you think, or why are you shocked that they have this attitude when they see a Caucasian person that's just walking happily down the street in their neighborhood? What you expect? Society is doing this to people. Society and the things that's going on has affected all of us in this nation. And this nation does not want to deal with its racism. It does not want to deal with the injustice that has been going on with dark-skinned people born in America, going on 500 years. You just want to, it's not there. You just want to pretend like nothing, it does not exist. You say it's the responsibility, the reason why these children, and well, let me make this point. The responsibility falls on the single mother. Well, I don't know if these children come from single mothers or they have parents or whatever. If you notice in the video, they were smoking, talking about doing weed. That's general society. General society out here in America. Y'all like to smoke weed. Y'all like to do cocaine. You like to get drunk. All those different things. These children was doing what is normal behavior. Y'all racist. The same way these black children targeted this Caucasian fella on many occasions. Dylan Roof is the prime example, one of the deadliest examples. Take a pistol, I'm gonna kill me some black folks. This society, oh, woo, here we go. I never say that a 2-parent household is not better for children. However, at the same time, it's not the quantity of parent, it is the quality of parent that is best for the children. A parent can be a single mother, but if she is in her right state of mind, compared to 2 parents, but they both crackheads, you tell me who is the best parent? Mother and father, both of them are crackheads. They are in the house. How is that better than the single mother who is working 2 jobs, going to college? How is the 2 parents is better than that single mother? It's the quality of the parent. And then when it comes to male children, that mother knows that she can only take her son to a certain point. Then she needs to give her son over to men who are a good example of what manhood should be. Not to just any dingbat, to some crack thing like I was just talking about in the 2-parent household. Now, we think and believe that it's just the parent's responsibility to raise children. So these idiot Negroes, oh, the single mothers, the single black mothers. Single black mothers and any parents have a certain responsibility for their children. But also there are things outside of the control, outside of the influence of mother and father, and that's general society. So you have these savage thugs, hoodrats and beasts, or whatever you want to call my children. I stand with the children. So you have these children in this society. the society also has a responsibility. There is an old saying or an old African proverb which can be used whether it's in Africa or Europe or Asia or whatever. It takes a village to raise a child. And when you see, my master teacher is nature. And when you look at mammals, when you look at elephants and lions and mammals, you notice that the parents go to a certain point, but then after the babies get to a certain age, the village raises that baby. That's how it goes. It's not about the single mothers. Single mama can only take children. And then there's another thing. Once you get to a certain age, mama and daddy is not responsible for that person's mentality. Because you can have the greatest, the best parents in the world, and they will produce a murderer, a liar, a thief. Makes no difference about that. Because children, we begin to mature and we begin to take on our own mind. And our mind can be affected by what mother and father taught us, but it also can be influenced by society. So what type of society are we living in? Oh, well, here we go. Woo! And you think this is shocking. There's nothing shocking about it. What kind of society do we live in? You live in a society, a government that made slavery a way of life for over 300 years. I will say that again. It made slavery a way of life for over 300 years. They drop bombs. As I am speaking, they are sending drones all over the earth, dropping bombs, killing the terrorists, but killing more innocent people than the terrorists. This they even admit themselves. But they just want to kill. They just want to tear something. They just sitting behind a computer watching the drone. They love to see stuff blown up. And you think that's not sick behavior? And you have our children growing up in this type of environment, and you're not expecting that this sickness don't affect your children regardless the skin color? So you have a Dylan Roof, so you have these young children, you expecting them to come up out of this situation clean when you live in a society that is not clean. You live in a society that is full of drunks. No matter if it's the black community or Caucasian community, whatever, there's liquor stores everywhere. Folks is buying drugs, cocaine and weed and heroin and ecstasy and all that all over the country. Y'all a bunch of liars. That's why the court system is filled with stuff, because you're liars. You're not good on your word. You don't keep your word. Gossipers and slanderers, murderers. Of course, you're racist, dope addicts, gender confused. Oh, I don't know if I should go in the woman's bathroom. I don't know if I should go in the male bathroom. I don't know what I is. I'm not a bisexual. I'm not a transsexual. I'm not a homosexual. You think all this stuff that's going on in this society is not going to affect the children, regardless whether your parents are supposed to be good parents or bad parents. You think none of this? Look at your nasty, filthy, all the nasty rap music. Where can you go in this nation and somebody don't have their penis or vagina or something in your face? Somebody always naked, running around with some string up their crack of their butt, all in your face all the time. You think none of this is supposed to affect black children or Caucasian children. Everybody's supposed to be normal, whatever normal is. You're expecting righteous behavior from a society that is not righteous. Oh, wow. Y'all ready to conclude? Let's bring this talk to conclusion, and I want to deal with these fakers once and for all. I stand with black children. I stand with the black woman. I stand with black men. Whether you are innocent or guilty, I'm not going to side with the enemy. You're innocent till proven guilty. I understand why many of us have turned into what we have become. It might be part because of your mama's fault. Might be part your daddy's fault. But society itself has a responsibility. Many of you go to church. There are churches and mosques and synagogues on every corner talking all this God stuff. You have a responsibility. Clearly, y'all who believe in God, you're not doing your job. All this filth. People, they drunk and they dope addicts and liars and thieves. And many of them will claim, I love Jesus. I'm a Muslim. All these things. You have all this religion, all this righteousness, all this God talk. But look at the society. Look at society. You're having no effect at all. Why is that? In science, what do they say? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For everything that you see, there's a cause. The reason why you see me here today and the way that I talk and the way that I carry myself is because something influenced and caused me to be that way. Oh, wow, somebody messed you up. somebody did you wrong, man. No. Somewhere down the line, whether you like it or not, I came into my right state of mind. I am not influenced by your Bible or Quran or Jimmy Joe down the street or society. I come into my right state of mind where I can think for myself, and none of this affects me. I understand that I'm living in filth, and it is best to separate myself from the filth. Don't go into the filth. Don't continue to bathe in the filth. Come up out of the filth. So in religious teachings, it talks about Moses and Pharaoh. And the God told Moses, you need to separate. And you go to Pharaoh and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. There must be a separation. There must be a separation, the wheat from the tare, the righteous from the unrighteous. When the first settlers of religious persecution first came to this country, the reason why they left where they came from was to get their children away from those of whom they did not want to influence their children. So here we are living in a racist society, living with a bunch of drunks, liars, thieves, gender confused, dope addicts. What you expect from the babies? Murderers. All the movies are violent. The best movies are violent. Somebody always cutting somebody's throat, shooting and killing all the time. You think that the music is nasty? It does not talk about love. It talks about calling women whores and bitches and things of this nature. What do you expect from these poor babies? So you don't blame society for nothing. Then you're going to go around and call the poor children, these babies, that savage thugs. You should be ashamed of yourself. And see, the race is like this. Race is like this because it's a distraction that you won't be looking at the things that they do every day. The things they have been doing going on 500 years. So in their mind, we can talk about the evil that Caucasian people do, then they can point their finger. Look at those four young black thugs. They jumped on that white guy. He was defenseless. Hate crime, terrorism. turn around and try to do to you what they have done to us over 300, 400 years. And you go for it. Oh, wow. And their society is the cause of it all. I will say that again. Their society is the cause of it all. If it wasn't for their filthy, nasty society, this would not have happened. Their society is racist. Their society is violent. And that's what these children express. They didn't have to. It's a lot of things we don't have to do. They did not have to enslave black folks for 400 years. Dylan Roof, what's his name? Dylan Roof, Roof Dylan, whatever his name is. He didn't have to go to a church and kill 9 black folks. But it is a result. It is because there's an action and a reaction and an influence, and this is what you get. So now I make reference to that scene where Tony Montana was telling these hypocrites and these goody two-shoes, looking at him like he's trash. So say good night to the bad guy. See, this makes them feel better when they can point to you. Look at you. But this is a result of their society that they built. So Tony Montana tells these people, so do that make you good? You just know how to hide. And see, really, they can't do. The American Caucasian people in this nation have done so much evil, they really can't even hide. It's out in your face. They know they are no good. But these sick Negroes, you so in love, and you want to be so close to your massa. You know it, but you want to ignore it. It's broad daylight. And what again is so sad, so many hypocrites. I believe in Jesus. Oh, brother, see, your problem is you do need religion. You need to believe in Jesus. I know a lot about your Bible. I know a lot about your Quran. In your Bible, the Jesus, the one they call Christ, Jesus, he would say, he that have no sin cast the first stone. So you who want to call somebody a savage, Hoodrats, and all these names y'all come up with because you want to look good for a bunch of criminals, because this is a criminal nation. It's not righteous. What good do they do? They are not righteous. Bunch of drunks, gender confused, murderers, liars, and thieves, dope addicts. Why are you trying to impress them? They know they're not good. He who without sin cast the first stone. None of you can throw the first stone or the last stone. Yes, these children done wrong. But at the same time, we have to look at the root cause of why people do what they done. And since you can't cast the first stone, especially when these are children, girls and boys, you know it's bad when girls start acting out. Because girls usually don't participate in this type of behavior. You had girls involved, so you know things are getting worse. They're not getting better, they are getting worse. You should not run around talking about children and what children have done, you should feel sorry for the children and understand that you must do something about your society. But it's easier. And it's easier. See, you don't want to, the reason why these Negroes and the reason why Caucasian people don't want to talk about society, they don't want to blame society for nothing, is because, see, Caucasian people, pink people know they are the ones who created this stuff. They are the ones who created this mess. The slaves was brought into it. Black people, Asians, all the immigrants, the different immigrants, dark-skinned immigrants, have nothing to do with the building of this society at all. You make none of the laws. You are not behind none of the politics, nothing. So the society is built, it was created by Caucasian people because that's who it was for, Caucasian people. Everybody else is brought in to the filth. They are the ones who fill the bathtub, put the Calgon in there, and everybody else get in the bathtub and take a bath. You don't have nothing to do. The bathtub was already ready to go, and you just jumped in. And if somebody was in the bathtub and they had an accident, you know, they made a little boo-boo, then some of that boo-boo gonna get on you. Some of that pee-pee gonna get on you. Some of that funk, stank gonna get on you. And that's the problem. The children is just a sign of something that is greater. Not only the children of soul, black children, but all these children in the society have been influenced and being messed up in the head because of they live in a degenerate, nasty, filthy, what religion says unrighteous society. So you can continue to distract from the problem. The savage Hoodrats and the thugs and the single mothers. You can talk about that. You don't want to deal with the real problem. You really don't want to deal with the real cause. You just want to deal with the result. You don't want to deal with it because that means that you got to blame white folks. And please, please no. Please, you can't blame the white man for nothing. But unfortunately, everything that happens, you have to blame something. Something caused something. So if something is the cause, you have to. If your battery died, you have to talk about the battery. That's the cause. That's the reason why your vehicle will not run. The battery died. If the Caucasian people manufactured a society that has a defect in it, then they are the cause. It's some Japanese guys right now, because they knew about a defect in the car, they are being charged with criminal, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, charged in a criminal manner. This nation, when this nation decided to make slaves out of people and not rehab the slave and not give us 40 acres of mule and do right by us, they have committed crimes against humanity. So you can talk about these children all that you want to. You live in a society and a nation that's criminal. And until that changes, then you're going to be talking about thugs and messed up people till you turn blue. It's the society. You think that you good because they done what they done? No. You can just hide. With that said, jot down your comments. As Don Cornelius always say, until next time, y'all, I wish us love, peace, and soul. Person, he or she, parents, have been killed by a truck. Of course, this is going to make you very upset that you have to bury your parents that was killed in an automobile truck accident. Okay. You have feelings and emotion to your parents, especially when you lose them in an accident like this. Now, you are a millionaire. Okay, I'm a millionaire. So since I'm a millionaire, I can afford to bury my parents. I can afford the casket and all the things and whatever. So why would a millionaire take the trucking company to court? The millionaire takes the trucking company to court representing the parents that died in the accident due to negligence of the trucking company. For what? You cannot bring the parents back. The parents are dead and gone. But this is to punish the trucking company for taking my parents away. So I cannot, there's no other way legally I can do this except going to court and sue the trucking company for monetary damages. I don't need the money. I'm a millionaire. But I'm doing this from my parents. Do you understand? Now, you go in now, if you win the money, the judgment against the trucking company, why should anybody go to court and sue for their parents or their child or other relative that is dead and gone? You did not suffer. I did not die in the car accident. I did not suffer any pain and physical hurt from the accident. But I did suffer. You killed my parents. Emotional distress, punitive damages, that because you took my loved ones away from me. Oh, wow. Now, this is what the trucking company is going to do. The trucking company is going to try to defame your parents and try to make the accident, when it is clear that it was the truck's fault, they're going to try to say, oh, if your parents was not eating a donut, if they wasn't listening to the radio, if they wasn't drinking that cup of coffee, that truck would not have run them over. And this is how it is in this country. The people who have hurt black folks, the so-called Negro, they try to flip the script and try to tell us, oh, if you did not do this, if you did not do that, you wouldn't be suffering right now. And they don't want you to care and try to make you feel guilty, because the only way that you can fight for what has happened to our loved ones, whether that loved one lives in 2012 or whether that loved one lived in 400 years ago, they try to make you feel guilty for standing up for your family, standing up for your people. I don't expect the Uncle Tom, the Sambo, the dark European to wish to stand up for their ancestors, because they have no love. They have no love for their ancestors. Many of them don't even love their family or know their family right now, living today. This is not about hatred. This is not about bigotry. This is simple justice. The United States of America and various corporations benefited from the slavery of my ancestors, from the mistreatment of my ancestors. When we stand for our people, we're standing for justice. No more, no less. I can be a millionaire, well able to take care of myself. I can be poor, but see, that's where they try to get you. Oh, you poor trying to get money.
It does not matter whether you are rich or poor. You hurt my family. You hurt my mother. You hurt my great-great-grandmothers. My great-great-great-great-great-grandmothers. You have hurt my family. You see this in Israel. And some of these Uncle Toms talk about they support Israel. Israel, those who live in Israel are standing up for what they believe is what their people have earned. No more, no less. Living or dead. They talk about their thousands and thousands of years history and the land that they are on used to belong to them. So we deserve that. Whether they are right or wrong, that's what they stand on. They stand on who is living today and those who lived thousands and thousands of years ago. Even though their story is false. But that's different. The Uncle Tom, the Sambo, the dark European does not care about his own people. Don't care about self. This is why they act and behave the way they do. Everybody else, racist pink Americans, racist pink Jews, everybody can stand for themselves. Stand and fight for their ancestors. Stand and fight for their nations and country, all except the Negro. The Negro, these dark Europeans don't care nothing about themselves. So since you don't have no feelings, you don't feel nothing for Martin Luther King. You talk, but you don't care that that man died for you more so than Jesus, or Malcolm X died for you, or Nat Turner, and all these great people suffered and sacrificed. Our people, both known and unknown, suffered and died for you. You really don't care, because the only thing on your mind is pleasing your massa. You trying to please the trucking company that ran over your mother and your father. How sick, woo! How sick can you be? This has nothing to do with you trying to get a free ride. It's about justice. And if I'm poor, and it just so happened that I get a judgment and an award fighting for the justice of my parents, then so be it. But the same thing would mean the same thing if a person is a millionaire, because I'm fighting for justice for my people, my ancestors. That's because I have a feeling, I have an emotional connection to my own, while the dark European don't care nothing, have no feeling for his own blood. Too busy trying to make sure that somebody else's blood is comfortable. Make sure that somebody else is doing fine. I don't want to offend the trucking company. I'm pretty sure the driver did all he could to avoid the accident. Oh, you are so sick. And if that was the case, there would be no courts of law that would be handling these cases day in and day out.